Good morning. It's Wednesday morning and it's time for Norma Talks. And before I do that, I'm just going to change and alter my screen a little bit here. Oh, not much, but it's a little bit. Today is a look at July. I keep wanting to say August. I don't know why I want to jump to August already because July is an important month for me. It's my birthday month, and plus many other things. So I put the reading out and I haven't read it. I just looked at some of the symbology at it and went, this reminds me a little bit of what was going on before that. Last month's reading really was fairly optimistic, and I was feeling really good about that. But this month is kind of back where there's not as much flow by the looks of it as we maybe usually find. And because I've changed the format and now going live rather than pre-recording and have a little bit more time, I thought I was going to try this of showing you with what the reading actually is. Now I'm going to stand behind it as I talk about it, but I want you to kind of look at the symbology of this, and I think it's good. I think you'll be able to see it. I'll put it a little closer there. Don't need to see my face, you just need to hear my voice. In the beginning, what we have here is the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords tends to be conflict. And so I want to say the first few days of, see again, August pops in my mind, ridiculous, July, is that there's going to be conflict. And this is kind of an aggressive conflict. I feel that we will not be that happy about that. Maybe the first 2-3 days and a little uncertain. But the good news is the next symbol, which is the 6. I just want to make sure this is still showing good here. The 6 shows they're moving away from the direct conflict into smoother waters. But that's going to take several days. I want to go from around the 6th to 8th, 9th. For sure. Now, excuse me. Anyway, as we move up towards around the 10th, 11th, 12th, communication with the 6 of Cups. Lots of communication. And the communication here is going to be one person really more in command, I think, than others, but it's really going to be an important element. But a lot of that, I think, is going to collapse as we get towards around the 12th to the 15th, somewhere in there, those 3 days. Very, very not out of the woods, like they're trying to whatever the resolutions they're trying to make. I just think they're kind of not exactly fall apart with a 10 of swords there, but really trying to, I just want to make sure we're still good. Just making sure that everything is workable. And I don't know, there's a lot of tension, and it's almost like we can resolve this, but I don't feel it gets resolved. And then as we move into the early 20s of the month, it's like we're sitting looking like, well, we're so close. Why can't we complete this? Why can't we do this? And then there's still some hope here. But one of the things that I looked at just closely when I was putting them out was from we get into the 20s, we've got 3 what I call attitude cards. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Page of Swords. Attitudes is how we think and respond, etc. Think, feel, and respond the most often. Queen of Pentacles is really contemplating the money, looking at the restrictions, looking at everything. Boy, everything is actually fairly good. But the Queen of Wands lets emotion get in the way and get sidetracked from what really is the goal. And of course, the Page of Swords is, okay, let's go at it. My sense is the majority of the 20s through July it's like a seesaw going up and down, like, when we used to have seesaws. I don't see them out for the kids anymore, but they can play on them. It's like not having a resolution. And then right at the end is the Three of Cups, which is happiness. I'm going to put that down because it feels funny. This is going to be a very, very interesting month. I think this is a month where things are going to turn, but it's going to look very hopeful. Then it's not going to be hopeful. You're going to look forward. Oh yeah, they're going to get everything sorted out. No, they're not. There's a lot of what the attitudes are and who wants to kind of win, who wants to come out and talk. And to get everybody on the same page. I do think there's going to be definitely talks. There's definitely going to be trying to sort things out. But, everyone has their agenda. And we, the people, don't know what those agendas are. So as we look at those and as we work with those, the key here is to remember at the bottom is the Three of Cups, where everybody comes into accord or everyone is happy. It's certainly a celebration. We won't know if that celebration lasts until we get into August. So this is going to be a very, very interesting month for sure, because nothing lasts. We start off with people maybe talking, but yakking, conflicting, sorting it out, trying to sort it out, then sort of coming to the kind of the end where they can kind of bridge that final gap to make it resolution. And then comes those 20s where we have all these attitudes, people with their agendas, people with getting upset and emotional. And well, I'm not going to go along with that. So there's obviously some meeting of some kind happening. Now, I think it was 2 months ago, I was saying there were meetings happening behind closed doors. We did not know about those. We did not know what was happening. Was saying, and little bits came out. And unfortunately, as we know, many of us, that on the mainstream media, we don't really get the truth of what's happening. We often have to go to alternatives to dig out what's really going on. I think we could look at it this way. This could be a very interesting month. Keep your ear very close to the ground to see if you can find the truth of what's really happening or what's going on. I don't think you're going to find that the truth of what's going on, you might say in conversations that are, the ruling beings that rule us these days. I don't think you're really going to hear what's really going on. I think there's going to be a certain amount of like, oh, it's all okay, no worries, we're getting it resolved. But really, it's very up and down and in and out and up in all sorts of ways. The one guiding thing that I really like is the ending of the Three of Cups, which is celebration. And what are they celebrating? We don't know at this point. We will know probably as we get closer to the end of the month. So the other one that really makes me feel very, very good about this is the second symbol which was the Six of Swords, which is taking the issues, leaving the problems behind, and striving for a better result, which then was followed by the Six of Cups, communication, resolving old wounds, resolving things from the past. So this is about people putting things in the past in a perspective. Now I'm going to put up my sheet again because I want you to take a look at this. One of the things I look at is how they go on the sides. Okay, so this is like back to front from where I'm reading actually. This way we go down this way. So we got the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Three of Cups. So from conflict through contemplation and coming to awareness, we get to the Three of Cups at the bottom, which is the happiness. The middle row shows us that, again, conversation, communication on the past, which is the Six of Cups, but the emotional things that we get tied up on, even if they may be not really rooted in anything, with the Queen of Wands kind of takes command until we get to a resolution. And on the other side, which is the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, into the Three of Cups. Procrastination, stopping and fighting for what you want, which is what we all, every country, every person is in a conversation, in a meeting, that's what they do. They fight for what they want. So what you've got here when you look at it, there, first of all, there's no higher arcana symbols, which is really where I look for the main thing, because those are the big laws that govern things. None of those. So, but we have attitudes and they all come together. Attitudes are our next level of what are our attitudes to things? Contemplation, emotion sidetracking us, overreaction. So we've got all that happening. There's only the one wand symbol, which is the Queen of Cups, which is the attitude, and which gets sidetracked. We got with the cups, we got two ones I kind of like, the communication in the Six of Cups, followed by the enjoyment of the Three of Cups. Well, the three comes before the six, but there is a sense of resolution there. And the cups are emotion. And if we look at a lot of this, there's certain amount of water in several of the symbols. So that's emotion. What are we doing with emotion? And so we want to look, the swords are like problems and challenges. You got four sword symbols in here, 4 of them. So this is going to not be the easiest month. There is that toy we used to have, and I think they still have it, that kind of you have to balance on, and you got to keep your balance, because if you don't, you fall off or you jump off or something like that. So it's kind of a balancing. So this is what this month's going to be. We know it's high summer. It's been very hot up here. I feel a little bit hotter than usual at this time of the year. A lot of fires around. Many of the provinces in Canada have a lot of fires. Unfortunately, many of them set, and by others, which is unfortunate. A lot of smoke at times. Where actually our valley has been pretty clear. One day they had a lot of smoke come in, but it got blown away. So there's the other thing, there's only one symbol in here that talks about movement, and it was the second symbol which was the Six of Swords. I'll just show you that one again. This is the only one that has movement. Everything else is stationary. So I like to see movement if we're looking for change. But I think the change is going to come through talking, trying to resolve things. So there's going to be some more meetings. There's going to be some more looking for resolutions, but I don't know if they'll find them, except maybe towards the end of the month. Somebody will be happy. I don't know if that's all of them. I know that somebody will. And that is going to be an important element. So how do we take this and apply that to our lives? That's one of the important elements of anything that we look at. What do we do when we have argument or when we have non-agreement? I mean, you can't be married to a person forever and not have it. And I hear people say, "Oh, we just never had a disagreement." And I'll go, "Well, obviously somebody gave up the power." Because but what we need is communication, which luckily the Six of Cups does give us. But that's past communication, not present. If it was the Two of Cups, it would be a lot more different than the Six. So past issues come up, past wrongs, past hurts, all those past things that go on make a difference. And so the thing here is that in your own communications, remember, because the bigger picture that we look at, I always look at North America, but it's like and North America and the world kind of reflect each other a lot too. But it's like, I just feel everybody's in their own camp. They're trying to resolve some of the issues that are going on. But, when you have an agenda, like, if you've been in a relationship and you have an agenda, you want your way no matter what, you don't really give the piece that would make the difference, because you want the other side to do that. And so I just really sense in this that this is going to be a complicated month, and we, the people, may not know too much about it. But that's why we have us readers, to take a look behind closed doors. I don't see that real movement in here. I see the pretense of it, but they're both, that Ten of Wands figures Ten of Swords figures very, very strongly. Take a look at this. I mean, this comes up in our lives often. The man sitting here, he's got 9 swords, and the 10th one is in the sand beside his head. And here's the river of life, and there's a new dawn coming. So in a sense, he's dead. So whatever is going on is dead. It's come to the end of the road, into the new beginning. Now we know when we die, our souls go on. And if you don't know that, go back and do some research, because that's what happens. You're not dead ever. The soul is forever. So it just goes on and has another experience. But what I saw when this followed it was that it's not really at the end. There's still more to be worked with. Whatever they're working at resolving, whatever and I say they because it's not like you and me. It's the people that are in control. People up at the top that call the shots. Or you see, and there's enough movies and TV shows out there, excuse me, that talk about that. So, and that's very real. That's just a reflection of what's going on out there. But I am happy with this 3 of Cups at the bottom. And I think we just have to get over all these attitudes that people bring to their meetings and to their discussions and to their awarenesses. I am concerned about the Queen of Wands because that's emotional, and it shows it relates into the stage of the Page of Swords, which is reaction. So what happens is that you sit in the Queen of Pentacles. These attitudes are so important, because your attitude to life is important. So every time you go into any kind of meeting or in conversation to anybody, it's what are you bringing? What are you bringing into that? What are you adding or not? Or when someone says something, do you get all in front and you kind of, So it's like, it's about sitting and just being able to be open to listen. And the majority of people, I don't see, in the beginning, there's listening and talking and figuring we got to resolve this, but I don't know that it's really resolved. And I'm really curious as to see what happens at the end of July with this 3 of Cups in here, because it sort of sits all on its own in a way. And it may say, and I don't really see it clearly, that somehow or other a miracle happens. And miracles do happen. I believe in them. So anyway, this month of July is going to be fun for each and every one of you. Very fun for me. As I've said already, I have a birthday towards the end of that. And I just want to wish you well through this month that's coming. It's not here yet. We've still got a few more days to go in this month. But I wanted to get this said now before we got to, I think it's in the middle, like 3rd, 4th, or 5th of next week is already into July. And I find that those readings don't seem to flow as well as when I go. I like it when it's right around the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of the week. Anyway, have a good week. Have a good week. I also want to thank those that have recently subscribed. I appreciate that. I also appreciate the comments, and I appreciate the likes and all those kind of things that go on. It really helps me keep me motivated to keep doing this and being with you. I will be back again on Sunday morning for a Sunday thought. And then, of course, Monday night, when we do our mental mind treatments. That has been very thrilling, how many people come back and put in their requests and how many people view that during the week. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for watching, supporting, and encouraging. So you go and have a good week and watch to see what happens in this transition from June to July. Just see what happens, what comes up in the headlines, what says. And of course, we don't always know what's going on behind those scenes. It just is a reflection of life. I want to thank you for watching. You have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday for sure, but also Sunday and Monday. Bye now.